I've taken this apart. I showed in a short where I've done that. I will link that short to this video. But now what I'm going to do is clean this up. Already took this up to the buffing wheel and got some of the rust off. It's kind of a unique piece. It's got an S stamped in the bottom of it. Cleaned it up. Here's the little nut that was on it. It was just like that. But the other way, this was on top, but I think someone might have just added that for looks. I don't know. Maybe not. Could have a little set screw in there. I don't know. But I'm going to take these parts over to my buffing wheel. Join me as I share stories of my life as a kid, bringing junk home and turning it into something useful. Fact is, I'm still doing this today at age 69. Here is the pieces cleaned up in my wire wheel. Got to get the insides of them yet. This is a little bit hard to get. And the same here. So let's get set up with the wire wheel and my drill. You can see. Let's start with the bigger one. Oops, dropped it. Let's start with the second biggest one. And see what happens. Oh yeah. That's actually working pretty good. You can see how that's taking that rust out of there. We want a nice home for that Genie to live in, don't we? I don't want it all rusty and dirty. I might even paint the walls for. Yep, that's good enough with that one. Let's do this one. Oh yeah, this one's a little worse. The bottom probably had some moisture sitting in it. But that's cleaning up pretty good for just an old drill and a wire wheel. There, you can see how I'm doing it. Let me get these done and I'll get back with you shortly. See what I'm doing here. It's with this small one getting in them little places. I should invest in a little sandblaster. For these smaller parts, that would be a lot better. By the way, that mark on my own, I just want to tell you, that isn't paint. That's what happens when you put the drill in reverse to get it to become more aggressive. It goes the opposite way and yeah, that smarted. But it's a long way from my heart, so I'm going to keep working. When you're working on old rusty junk, you got to expect that you're going to get scrapes and bruises along the way. You can take precautions, but I guess I should have my sleeves on. Welding sleeves, that would protect me, and even a pair of good leather gloves would be nice. But there you have it. I've got to clean this a little bit more. This one's not too bad, needs a little bit. This one you can still see a little rust in there, but it's the inside. It's the Genie's house. This goes like that, that goes like that, and that goes on there. This bolt came up through, had this tightened down on there, and then whatever this is was set on top of it. I think it's a top to a lamp, but what do I know? Let me get this finished up and hopefully I can show it to you. By the way, later today I'm going to work on my locks. These are just a couple more I pulled out. And I have one soaking over here that I started on, and video will be up on it shortly. Next few days maybe. But here's this lock. It was like those other two. I just wanted to see if I could get it to look a little bit better, but quite honestly I like the rust look better than I like the new look, so I'll probably go ahead and put this thing back together and wipe it up and just put it beside the others and put it in my shelf. This one right here, I think I could actually find a key for it. It would be nice to see that functional. Maybe someday. For right now, we're working on the Genie house. And we'll get that cleaned up. I'm going to put a rust inhibitor primer over it. And I don't know what color I'll paint it. Maybe I'll just leave it like that and put a clear coat over it. Use this wire brush yet. Got some of that rust out of there. My rust inhibitor paint, that should be good enough. At least for me it is. For others it might not be. But what I'm going to do next is paint the inside of these. Maybe the underneath side of this with primer. And we will show you that process here in a minute. We're all set up here, and I'll be using this paint right here. If you've never give that a try, you should. It's cheap and it works pretty good. I know there are others that are probably just as good, but this is real handy for me here at the hardware. Let's give this a light coat. We'll let that set just a few minutes. And, oh, wait a minute, missed the spot. Let's see, missed another spot. Okay, let her go, Marv. Don't touch it. Let it go. You can see it's drying good in there already. Okay, I'm back on this, and I've got both sides primed, set for a little while now. And I've decided on a color, and it was very scientific. I'm going to use the color that I have on the shelf. It's International Harvester Red. Call me cheap, I guess, but I don't want to go buy paint. Just a Genie bottle, and it's going to look a lot nicer inside for the Genie than what it did before. So, actually, if someone does know what this is, I'd appreciate knowing, because I really don't know what it is. Maybe you do. If you do, let me know. That would be greatly appreciated. We're going to let that set. The reason we're going to let it set is it has to tack up some before I paint it again. But you see what I'm doing here. When I get this done, I'll bring you back in to see the finished product. My Genie bottle's sitting here ready for assembly, but the paint's a little wet. Gotta wait for a little bit. Yeah, I said Genie bottle. What do you guys think? I'm back, and it's a couple of days later, back here in my shop, and I wanted to show you how this, what I've called a Genie bottle, just making fun of it, I guess. I want to show you how it turned out. So this is the bottle that I restored. You remember what it looked like when I started, and I think it turned out pretty nice. I think I'll just build me a shelf and put some of these old rusty relics up on those shelves. But for now, we're going to call this video complete. If you like what I share with you, please subscribe. If you know what this is, please comment. I would love to know what your ideas are on this little thing. Can it be fixed? Yes, it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can. Until the next time.